Hello, this is KRBrickBot, and continuing my classic Tobot 10th anniversary reviews, here is a still in package Tobot Y Forte Coupe. Albeit pretty dusty, banged up, and even worse, sun bleached. This one of us has been out in the sun too long, so unfortunately the figure has also been taking a hit. There are some yellow parts, so not the most mint, but not the most white, but I guess I should swap some parts. So, looking at this polygonical box, the side here, it shows these stock photos, Tobot Titan and Tobot Z. So I'm assuming this is a 2012 or 2013 release. Yep, and this version highlights the Evolution X and Y with the new Tobot logo and not the old preliminary logo on X that I showed. Let's see, so look at the bottom. This is a 2012 release. And it's packaged like this with this purple techno backdrop. Some cards. Not the traditional cards, but still cards. The toe key. And a laser gun. And the QR code and Season 1 tag. Now I'm going to open this old relic. So here's the inner cardboard backing without the outer sleeve. Pretty lavender background with the same styling as Tobot X's. Like the wheels in the background, these fluid tubes. The several highlights here, Forte Coupe, the classic Tobot logo. Also the preliminary logo and Forte Coupe. Power up Tobot Y right up there. Also right here. Instructions and stickers are included. Check the contents, then throw away the package. So among the extra paper trinkets, there are these 4 pentagonical cards. Duri, or Cory for the Western folk. Power 500, whatever this means. Also one for X. With the Soul, Speed 500, Y Rear View, Kia's Forte Coupe, Speed 800, and the Robot Mode, Power 500. And here's the sticker sheet. So I took some time to swap out the inner parts that were sun bleached with another old copy of Tobot Y. So, except the outer parts I did not swap because they're still scratchy, but at least the windows are not extremely scratchy. So the outer car bits are still a bit yellowed. So the Y motif is seen in his orange crotch, the head obviously, the stickered knees, and even the ankles. And I suppose this inner hidden red bit is also shaped like a Y, as with the collapsed car chest. And Y's head, of course, his visor is a very obvious Y shape with some central intake in the head, and these very cheeky cheeks, kind of making it look like he has puffed up cheeks. Also, for some reason, he had blue cheeks in the earliest seasons or episodes of the Tobot animation. Yeah, it looks like he went through several preliminary flubs, including his evolution form. And it looks like he has some little ear winglets. Unlike Axe, he has skinnier limbs to sell him more as the speedy build type, in contrast to Axe's stronger, bulky muscle body type. I suppose that's what they were going with. But I don't think his car kibble lets him be that graceful. So as you can see, most of the car kibble, it basically ends up on the legs. Well, one, he has this very big butt flap, which is, yeah, it really sticks out like that. I mean, that thing looks like it could hamper speed and running by catching a lot of wind, if you know what I mean. If you remove all the lower kibble, you can just see how sleek and curvaceous those long, limber legs are that do fit the build of an athlete. If it was not for this little plastic tab right here, this thing would be annoyingly flop around. Kind of gets in the way of the legs, between the legs. And yeah, what's up with these windshield kibble? It's like, yeah, 2 door windows just fused together on the leg, which could really get in the way of some posability. Well, actually, this is as far as the legs will go without the kibble. So I guess that's why they put it there. I don't know, but yeah, that kind of looks unsightly and very, very unnatural, and just really breaks the seam of a transforming car. And he also has these little strange little downward kibble bits. Not sure what function they give. Maybe like a trench coat? Just extra legging kibble? Just this leg kibble here just seems really extraneous. I don't know, it's not placed properly, I think. Which I like the micro Y better in some regards, other than the typical Transformer scale. As you can see, his legs do not have that extra extraneous kibble, nor those extra stick kibble. They've been relocated to the door, like they look like pretty natural doors, although they're looking a bit thicker than because that stick kibble has been relocated to this door, so those are more natural looking car parts in the robot mode. And the kibble also includes his shoulder door wings, which is a pretty standard thing for car robots, but these are kind of loose. Because really, this is only held in by plastic and this one is held by a loose metal pin. So if this thing comes loose, then the entire shoulder doors will go all floppy flop. Case in point. Floppy flop. And if you've seen him fall over a couple of times, that's because he really does not have any heels. Absolutely no heels. Maybe that's what these stick kibbles are? Rudimentary, just some ineffective attempt as a heel support. Yeah, but it's kind of unfortunate that this thing does not have heels. Well, it can stand well on its own, except when it doesn't. So I think because the way this transforms, I don't think they give it heels, but wish they just gave it an extra flip out part to give him some more foot stability. Articulation. The head is on a ball socket, a very slight wiggly head tilt. Upward that much, downward that much, a nice 360. Shoulders move up and down on these plastic ratchets. Again, the plastic ratchets, which I'm afraid will break if handled too improperly. In fact, I shaved down this shoulder because I felt that plastic tab was too long, and any attempt to move it in that state would have broken the tab. But now there's enough clearance for it to move up and down without worry. Kind of a bicep swivel, just the upper shoulder joint is connected all like this. So you can do a hand on hip pose, mostly, kind of. A nice waist swivel. That seems to go only 180, which is fine. Forward that much. Back that much as far as the kibble will allow it. Spread that much. With or without this kibble. Less than 90 degrees. A knee at 90 degrees. Forward that much and backward that much. So at least he has that going for him. He also has this red laser gun thing, which he never used in the animation, by the way. It kind of looks like some sort of engine block with a hexagonal muzzle. This also acts as a nice key storage for the included Y key. which, by the way, is basically a mirrored pattern from Axe's toe key. The best Axe can do to store his key is to just leave it in the chest, just jut it in the chest. The buttons are also spring-loaded, so I suppose that's a key-powered laser gun thing. And comparing Y with the newest generation of Tobot, still a bigger than leader class back in the day. Y's transformation is also kind of fiddly. So first you can come and collapse in his head. Line up those arms and lock those shoulders. Yeah, I suppose this is an alternative, more secure way to hold the door. Yeah, you have to work around the leg section first. So fold in those ratcheted toes and fold them up until the soft plastic tabs, which will erode, wear out, and will lock it in place. And then come around to the door. Oh yeah, and a very important step that a lot of kids will overlook. Put the gun between the two little holes on the legs here. Except that really is not held in with friction at all, so I think it works better if you just plug in the key first and then the gun so that it has some secure way to hold on, and then just try to line up those little holes very meticulously. But first, untap the torso. This is kind of tight. And also lining up these little extra protrusions to the holes in his torso there. Okay. Now, make sure to get those arms out of the way by folding them down and wiggling the chest in front of it. Untap the door. Tap that front to the front of the car here. And tab the window to these little two tabs in the back of the hood there. Okay, then line up the shoulder bits. Lock in those doors. Fiddly widdly fiddly. Oh, and the arms also have these little two holes which you should align. And nudge the leg kibble into these little circular tabs here. Seriously, what were they thinking? Little kids at least 4 years old could nestle all the little tabs and such together into this perfect shape. That is very tricky, that is very fiddly to pull off. So this is a 2009 Kia Forte Coupe, the sporty car-like design. But just like Axe, it's not a true 1 to 20, 1 to 19, 1 to 18-ish scale. It's actually, it has been squashed together. It's a squatter proportioned car. As such, it looks a little wide compared to the thing. But I guess it's not too noticeable compared to X. So it has a sunroof, a little antenna here, the little ridged rear bumper with the exhaust. The license plate sticker would go here as with these rear lights, but I will not be applying them. And the custom Y key port is right here, which does clean up the look, unlike Axe, which is basically, with this giant keyhole in front of Axe, it just makes it look like a very specialized car. Standard undercarriage junk, pretty stylish front with all the chrome stickers, which are prone to peeling off and losing. These transparent blue plastic headlights here, and the little front bonnet has a separate blue painted piece that's connected with the hood. And I guess since this was a single piece, that's why this piece was actually black in the animation. Kind of a persistent error. Oh, this side is also painted blue. If you can compare the car proportions of Captain Jack with Tobot Y, yeah, this is a more realistically proportioned one, while yeah, this slightly chibi proportion kind of looks out of place compared to the newest one, lengthwise. So what this chrome gold Y Toki does is, let's see, it doesn't seem to do anything right now. Oh, forgot to put the gun in there. This needs the gun between the legs in order for this thing to work. So you can insert the key in and then turn it to friction it in place. And then push that all the way to slightly unlatch the back. As it seems to push that gun. And then from there you can start transforming this thing. I guess the easiest thing to do first is detach these kibble bits. Swing them 180. You gotta unlatch the doors a bit. Gently detach that. Flipping out the arms helps a bit. Carefully detach this hood. Come on. Come on. Some tight wiggling required. Okay, so that's all loosened up. So come around to the legs, and some friction force is required to put these lower legs in position. Some very stiff clicks. Fold down those kibble. There goes the gun, and then put the back kibble on the little latch here. Right there, carefully. And there's a little tab here which you can put the fold the back kibble down here. Fold back the hood. Double hinge. Fold out the arms. Detach that on the bottom here. Collapse the chest in and forward. Fold up the arms. Fold up the shoulder doors, and finally fold up the head tab. Tobot Y in general has much more durable ratchets and joints than Tobot X here. Mainly because they're spring-loaded and not these warpable plastic ratchets. But Y's initial design is still very kibbly and also all prone to flopping. Much like X, this Y mold was never released outside of Korea after its discontinuation in 2014. So instead they made this new 2014 original Y mold in Korea and internationally. Yeah, all the kibble has been really relocated to the back like a big draping shell instead of the more sparse version of that one, and also yeah, immobile head and fixed wings. And very short legs. Also a much thinner gun, which was lost. So this Y and the original Y should be pretty common in the Korea-only secondary market. The international release of original Y might be floating around in some stores.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe. So until next time, this is KRBrickBot signing off.